narrate a story which I read a few days ago. It was written by Katherine Hepburn herself, and in her own words, I'm going to try and put it out there. She said, once when I was a teenager, we were waiting in line, that is my father and I, to go to the circus. Right in front of us, there was a couple with 8 kids. I looked at the kids. The kids by no means were very rich, but they wore very, very clean clothes. They were laughing, well behaved, standing behind their parents, holding hands. They were chattering about the clowns, the animals, and all the acts that they would see in the circus. It was very evident that this was their first time at the circus. The mother and father of these children were standing ahead of them, holding hands, and the mother was adoringly looking at her husband as if he was a knight in shining armor, doing for the family what would make them happy and joyous. Their turn came to buy the tickets, and the lady at the counter asked, "Sir, how many tickets do you want?" The man proudly said, 8 children tickets and 2 adult tickets. She made the calculation and said the amount that he would need to pay. He was astounded. The wife dropped her head in dismay, realizing that they didn't have the money. He leaned back and asked the lady to repeat how much he would have to pay. She said what she said. My father, who was right behind this family, realized what was happening. He quickly put his hands into his pockets, took out a $20 bill and dropped it right next to this man. He picked up the $20 bill and tapped this person on his shoulder, saying, "Sir, this $20 just fell out of your pocket." The man realized what my father had done, but he was in an embarrassed and in a very difficult situation. He held my father's hand, looked into his eyes and said, "Sir, thank you so much for this. It means the world to me and my family." Me and my father went back, not seeing the circus because that $20 was actually going to pay for our tickets. But we felt a kind of joy because by giving, we had done something far more happier for that family than for ourselves. Welcome. Welcome to today's episode of How to Give. But I would like to add, actually, how to give graciously. So many of us give our time, our effort, resources, money to others. But somehow, do we realize whether we are gracious about that giving, or we land up making those people feel embarrassed, small, and sometimes maybe ashamed? And we have to ask ourselves that when we give, what is it that we are really giving for? Is it to make the other person realize that they are lesser than us, that we are uplifting them, or that we want a certain high for ourselves because we are in a position of power? I narrate this story because a lot of social service and altruism is done for the wrong reasons. It is mostly done for an ego boost, for someone to make himself or herself feel greater than the rest. As Katherine Hepburn said, that the giver is greater than the receiver, I think what she meant was that in the giving, it is these small acts of kindness which, if done with genuine care and to make the other person not feel obligated, I think we have to ask ourselves, how do we give? If you like what you hear, please do hit the like button. Please do share my video, and of course, continue to write to me at varkha@varkhachalani.com. Till next week, it's goodbye and thank you.